Hey everybody, Bill with American Liberty Fighters. Wanted to put a video out here with, I guess, in regards to the burnt Oregon issue going on with the Hammond family and Clive Bundy's sons being up there. I'm not quite sure I understand their whole purpose of doing what they've done now. I get the fact that they went up there initially to join a protest and rally around the Hammond family, protesting the federal government's pursuit of further jail sentence time for Mr. Hammond and his son. I've read a little bit about what this is all about. I don't know all the facts about it. I know that for me right now, and this is just my 2 cents. This is the way I feel about it. I heard what Ted Cruz had to say. I've heard what a couple other senators had to say, or candidates, the presidential candidates. I agree with Ted Cruz. This is not the right action to take. You went up there initially to join a protest and to march and to show your solidarity and your patriotism and your stance against the federal government, the BLM or whomever it is that's doing these actions. I get the fact that the Bundys had their own run-in with the BLM. The Hammonds are having their issues, but when you go to something like this and it's all planned out, and you guys have a plan of what you're going to do, and then you go off half-cocked, you go off the cuff, and you decide to do something unplanned, armed at the same time. Whether there's a complex that's full of people or a complex that is closed and vacated because of the time of year it is irrelevant at that point. You went in with the intent to take the facility and to hold it for however long, and you're basically telling state and federal authorities, don't come in, don't try to stop us, don't use force on us or we'll use it on you. So all law-abiding citizens, all people who own weapons, all those Second Amendment supporters, you actually draw them into this because you're doing something that affects us. Your total disregard for the whole process is unbelievable. Those people who are standing there with you, or who I've read a lot of comments, people who support you, people who don't support you, and the ones that are not in support of what you've done are being berated, being told all kinds of craziness. That you're only standing up to a tyrannical government. Come on, seriously? Sure, the federal government is getting way too big for its own britches, but who let them get that way? The citizens aren't doing their job in the political realm. They're not voting in those politicians at the state and federal level that will do what the will of the people is. We continue to vote in those jackasses who do what the hell they want. They'll line their own pockets with money, that fund their own little projects. We continually vote them back in. We have the power to vote them out, but we don't. We want to sit there and say we're a Republican, we're a Democrat, we're a liberal, we're a conservative, we're a libertarian, we're a constitutional conservative. You know, for me, I'm a friggin' American. Plain and simple. I vote the way I vote. I vote for whomever lines up with my beliefs more. I'm also in the past, because of the way things are in this country, I'm at fault for not voting the right way or not voting at times. But I've learned, and it just didn't happen in the last 7 years that I learned that my vote counts. Every time I vote, it counts. Not just because I voted for a politician or some official who wanted to be elected to an office and they lost and somebody else won. My vote always means something, whether you win or lose. If you want to sit there and believe these politicians when they promise you the frickin' moon, you go right ahead. You believe them. They can't do a damn thing without everybody else. And unless we the people start telling them what we want them to do and start holding them accountable, it's never going to change. We can't continue voting dirty politicians in because they're in our political party that we align with, whether we're Republican or Democrat. I can't see how we have 12 Republican nominees for president sitting there trying to vie for our attention and our vote when half of them don't even have double digits in the ratings. I don't see how a Democratic Party can have a presidential candidate who is under investigation by the FBI and Congress, and who has shown in both her own congressional term and her term as the Secretary of State that she is incapable of doing anything worth anything. Who would vote for her? Who? And how stupid do you have to be to give your vote to that woman? And then you have the socialist, the self-proclaimed socialist. Who in the hell would vote for a socialist in the United States as president? Are you stupid? Are you smoking some funny weed? I don't know. It's mind-boggling to me that we can sit here and bitch and moan about what the federal government is doing, what the states are doing. We don't do anything to change it other than sit, bitch, and moan. Use your vote. Use your voice. Call your congressman. Call your state representatives. Call your federal representatives. Do your due diligence. Don't go holding up a federal facility because you're pissed off and your panties are in a bunch because something ain't doing what you want it to do. You want patriots to come to your defense. You want patriots to line the streets for you and to get behind what you believe in. Yet you sit there and you treat patriots like crap when they don't agree with you. Shame on all of you who want to do that kind of crap. Who do you think you are? I'm a patriot. I've served my country, and I served it honorably. I don't agree with what the Bundys are doing. I don't agree with the group that they're with. I don't agree that they're in a facility armed and waiting for something to happen, because inevitably it will. I don't agree with anybody who stands with them. I agree that patriots need to stand with the Hammond family, and we need to make sure that the federal government and the state government starts doing their job. Any federal agency that isn't constitutionally authorized, and Congress should be doing what they were elected to do. The president this morning is signing executive actions and executive orders in order to usurp the Second Amendment, in order to take away our Second Amendment rights. He says he's not, but ultimately that's what it is. If you're banning any kind of weapon, you are infringing on my right to own a firearm. It's Congress's job to hold the executive in check. It's Congress's job to hold the judicial branch in check. The judicial branch and the executive branch can't write legislation, can't write law, can't say what's law. The judicial branch can only make a judgment. It's up to Congress to change it. Congress isn't doing their job, and we're not holding their feet to the fire. That's where this has to start at. Not holding some federal facility while armed. Quit being stupid and start being smart. That's what I think. And whether you agree with me or not, that's fine. That's your right. That you're free to believe what you want. You're free to think what you want. But I'm free to think what I want and believe what I want as well. So just because I don't have your thought and your belief doesn't make me any less patriotic than you. Doesn't make me any less American than you. If you agree with this, awesome. If you don't, fine. Leave a comment either way. Let me know what you think. If you disagree with me, go for it. Tell me why you disagree. Tell me why I'm wrong. Maybe you'll change my mind. Doubt it, but maybe. Or we can start a conversation. We can have some dialogue, and maybe I'll change your mind. Again, maybe doubtful, but still. That's what needs to happen. Dialogue. And all of you out there that say, oh, we've already tried dialogue, we've already tried to talk, you're full of crap. You know, everybody's all trigger happy. You go on. This ain't the Wild West anymore. We're beyond that. I don't believe I should have to pay to own a firearm, or to have a piece of paper, I should say, that tells me I'm allowed to have a firearm, whether it's concealed or open carry. I believe in constitutional carry, so don't get me wrong there. But I also believe that you got to use your brain. And those guys ain't using their brain at all. I hope everybody's having a great new year, great start to the new year. I hope it'll all this will be a great year. I'm looking forward to the next election cycle. I'm looking forward to who the candidate will be. You know, I'm not opposed to Ted Cruz or Donald Trump. I don't agree with everything they say. Rand Paul, I agree with a lot he says, but you know, I don't need an isolationist, I don't need a hothead, and I don't need a businessman only. This country needs more than that. They need someone who's going to make sound decisions and get us back where we need to be. Not just here in America, where we're going to have sound economics, but throughout the world, where we have a good foreign policy, where our allies trust us again and our enemies fear us again. Because believe it or not, when an enemy fears you, you're doing something right. Again, all I got to say, you know, thanks for listening. Again, agree, disagree, like, dislike, make a comment, leave a comment, tell me you want to discuss this. Shoot me a video reply, video response, whatever you feel. Or ignore it all together. Thanks.